Good morning. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, and it's my pleasure to invite Raquel Cadilla to sing O Canada.
No, it's not the start of the Blue Jays game. Hi, everyone. Please be seated. I'm Tom Jenkins. I'm the Chancellor of the University of Waterloo, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here today. So graduates, family and friends, President Hamdillapur, Provost Orchard, honored guests, faculty and staff, I'm honored to join you today to celebrate today's graduating class. Come on in, there's still lots of seats. We'll just give everybody a chance to settle down here. Well, graduates, this is certainly your day. You worked very hard to get here. And by the looks of the people streaming in here, you've had a lot of help along the way. I personally have experienced both sides of your journey, and I've answered the phone call late at night when there's lots of stress around October midterm time, and of course, my campus card is now overdrawn. I need money, so I've been on both sides. But welcome parents and friends that have provided all that support. And as you pass this milestone today, congratulations. What a great accomplishment. Now, I've always found this university to be very inspirational. My relationship with UW, in fact, I was thinking this morning, it goes back to when Trudeau was Prime Minister. But he had a different first name. But of course, along the way, I got married here, and my wife, of course, went to UW, and now my children have both gone and still go to the University of Waterloo. So my ties run very deep here. And as you'll find as you graduate and move on, you'll start to discover the amazing ecosystem that is the Waterloo family. You know, you've been students now, but as I found, and as I'm sure you will find, there's a great network ahead of you that you actually never really leave here. Your friends are here, and you'll find yourself being drawn back here for all kinds of reasons. So today we celebrate with the awarding of degrees, and we'll begin by conferring an honorary title on an individual who has distinguished themselves in the academy. We'll then confer bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. The proceedings will take less than 2 hours, and as Chancellor, it's the only order I get to give that I expect to be followed. So please remain in your places until convocation is adjourned, and we'll let you know when that is, and the academic procession has left the hall. So I hope that graduates, you'll always feel that you're welcome here and that you're free to come back. Stay connected, whether it's online or come back and visit for alum weekends, etc. And give us back the benefit of your talent and how you grow in your career. And perhaps one day you may be up on this podium. It takes a whole university community to develop a graduating class, and so be part of that community going forward and give back. We're proud of you and we want you to stay in touch. So congratulations, and I look forward to seeing each of you as you cross the stage. It's now my pleasure to invite Brian Smale, Professor, Department of Recreation and Leisure Studies and Director, Canadian Index of Wellbeing, Faculty of Applied Health Sciences, to the podium. Brian.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the Honorable Roy Romano. Roy Romano is undoubtedly one of our most iconic Canadians. Inspired by the social policy of Tommy Douglas, he was first elected to the Saskatchewan legislature in 1967. From 1971 to 1982, he held a succession of senior posts including Attorney General, Deputy Premier, Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs. Then he became the Premier of Saskatchewan in 1991, leading the province until 2001. During his time in politics, he played a major role in the negotiations that would bring about the patriation of the Constitution and establish the Canadian Charters of Rights and Freedoms, as well as his involvement in the Charlottetown Accord of 1992 and the formation of the Social Union Framework Agreement in 1999. Beginning in 2001, he led the Commission on the Future of Healthcare in Canada, resulting in the landmark 2002 report that recommended and advocated for ensuring a universally accessible, high-quality, publicly administered healthcare system. The social program that I'm sure Mr. Romano would say defines Canada's national character. From 2003 to 2013, his leadership as co-chair on the advisory board to the Canadian Index of Wellbeing, now here at the University of Waterloo, has been instrumental in advancing the importance of considering Canadians' quality of life in the development of social policy, and this work is now recognized and lauded around the world. He continues his immense contribution to Canada as a senior policy fellow at his home university, the University of Saskatchewan, and for tremendous achievements he has received numerous awards, including the Saskatchewan Order of Merit and his appointment as an officer of the Order of Canada in 2003. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his distinguished career of service to Canada, his tireless advocacy for universal health care and social justice, I request that you confer the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa upon Roy Romano. I would now like to invite Dr. Romano to address convocation.
Very much. Good morning, everybody. It's been quite some time since I've last addressed a very, very large crowd like this, and an important one. And you'll forgive me if I'm exhibiting a little bit of anxiety and nervousness. Eminent Chancellor, distinguished President and members of the board, faculty, friends and relatives, and most important, my fellow graduates. The recognition which you have bestowed on me today will always remain with me, I can tell you that, as a very cherished honor, coming especially as it does from this very distinguished university. The reputation of the University of Waterloo is outstanding. Innovative thinkers, groundbreaking researchers, and excellent teachers and committed students are the hallmarks of this university. I experienced this firsthand when I served as co-chair with the Honorable Monique Bejane as has been mentioned, working on the Canadian Index of Well-Being right here at Waterloo. As some of you will know, I suspect that most of you will know, the CIW, as we call it for short, is headquartered here, and its pioneering work seeks to measure and understand the key determinants of Canadians' well-being and health. And I want to extend my congratulations to Professor Brian Smale, his assistant Linda McKessick, in addition to the university, for their continued dedication to the task of researching and highlighting the importance of social policies to the overall health and well-being of all Canadians. And the goals of the CIW prompt me, therefore, to say a few more words about broader issues. And that is our commitments to Canada and the narratives and the values that connect us as a progressive and caring community. Now, friends, for people like me who call Saskatchewan home, our words, deeds, and contributions will always bear the watermark of a life lived on and in a Canadian prairie community. My parents came to Canada all the way from Ukraine, not knowing where they were going to land. They did so in search of freedom and opportunity. I was first born in Saskatoon in the family, lived in a working-class area on the west side of Saskatoon, in a neighborhood shared with other new Canadian families, Polish, Czech, Jewish, Ukrainian, voices interspersed, might also be said with the occasional English-speaking person too. It was a vibrant community of different sounds, smells, dress, and religious beliefs. And being new Canadians in a new land, we quickly learned from each other. We came to understand our differences and eventually accepted each other. From this experience, I learned that today as then, there is no other way to live in this great country. On the prairies, the harsh, sometimes snow-blown conditions, coupled with our relative isolation, force us together like poplar trees huddled on a wind-swept open prairie plain. We learned to see survival and growth as a test of our ability to organize and to remain united against forces which so often seemed so much larger than us. I cite this because, as the late author Wallace Stegner once wrote, he sums it up better than anything I could say. Stegner wrote the following: "If we don't know where we are, we don't know who we are." In other words, as I see it, he was telling us that our identities are indelibly linked to the places that we call home, whether we were born in Canada or came here to begin a new life. After all, the concept of community remains a central defining feature of Canadian society, our institutions, our beliefs, and most important, our values. So it is that Ontario, too, has its own story of communities and shared values. Stegner's description of the Canadian prairies and his admiration for the resolve of its people and their irrepressible spirit of cooperation and communication captures the sense of a social and political identity, I would argue, that also permeates Ontario, and I would also argue permeates all of Canada. I think of the great struggle of settlement described by Susanna Moodie in Roughing in the Bush, and then Margaret Atwood's wonderful poem where she imagines Moody's fears of defeat. Both writers conclude that what seemed so consuming and impossible can really prove to be redemptive. I also think of Alexander Corey, a former principal of Queen's University here in Ontario, who in his wonderful autobiography describes a similar struggle with his environment. Corey wrote once, quote, The upper reaches of the little streams fed by swamps were barely navigable. The hardwood forests were dense and the swamps impassable. The saga of unwavering purpose and relentless effort, reenacted again and again in the lives of our elders and endlessly embroidered by them in the stories told around the kitchen stove, became part of the air that I breathed, end quote. So in this vast and wonderful land we call Canada, there are different narratives and distinctive identities, but we all share a common background. It is the common purpose of nation building, Canada. A Canada in which we can be proud to serve, will want to serve, which has inherited these stories that I've told you about, has the resolve never to recoil from hard tasks and difficult undertakings. We have inherited the spirit that our forefathers brought to their challenges, and perhaps today this spirit is needed more than ever. And in my judgment, what better place than a convocation with all the bright new faces and ideas being recognized taking place here. The persistent question that all of us must face is how best to meet and overcome today's larger-than-life challenges at home and in the world. Today, we live in the so-called global village, but we would do well to rely on the measured perspective that served us so well in the past, as I've described, and recognize that innovation, excellence, creative vision, individuality, and yes, commitment to community arise not solely from our ability to compete with each other or the wider world, but out of an understanding and appreciation of our common experiences. In Canada's case, as a nation composed of minority groups from everywhere and different regions. To be sure, accommodating minority communities in a traditional liberal state is a complex matter. But we have demonstrated as a nation our capacity to do so and to do so successfully, and to emerge with a more subtle understanding of our province, our country, and the values which underpin it. So cognizant of these traditions, there is much about which to be optimistic when I look at Ontario and Canada. Both are wonderful places in which to live, to learn, to innovate, and to work. Our welcoming society has enriched our overall culture. Our devotion to both individuals and community rights has guided us in the building of a more compassionate state filled with new and exciting opportunities. But I want to say this as I move toward the closing of my remarks, fellow graduates. Our future goals will not be accomplished by merely stating them. All will not be perfect always. It never is. Difficult new questions always arise, and they need to be answered. And you are now charged with the responsibility of articulating a new vision to meet today's and tomorrow's needs. Questions like this: in the midst of relatively significant economic wealth, how is it possible that there are so many Canadian children living in poverty? Why is the income gap between the rich and the poor growing? Why have Aboriginal concerns been unanswered, if not ignored? How can Canada actively participate in the solutions to the environment? How can Canada better promote peace in a complex and difficult world? And finally, what steps need to be taken to further strengthen Canadian unity? A very fragile idea for sure. Well, may I suggest that we begin by understanding the narrative and building upon it. We have a history, and we've made commitments. Commitments like, first, people are entitled to fair treatment at the hands of government and everybody, and governments take responsibilities to see that we are treated fairly. There are many accepted instruments and principles like the rule of law, equality, due process, and other charter guarantees. We see this in human rights commissions. Equalization to ensure programs throughout the country of the land are the same. So the first thing that I say Canadians are committed to fairness. Second, Canada cares about the social condition of its people. We know that fate can be cruel, that people can suffer for no fault of their own and need assistance to continue, that all have an inherent worth, and we have a common commitment to respecting that worth and to working to reestablish it when it becomes diminished. So second, Canadians are committed to human dignity. Third, Canada endorses full social and political inclusion of our many communities. Understandably, there should be some preconditions to being accepted to Canada, but we are very sensitive to the oppressive effect on people of insisting on common practices and common beliefs. We are richer as a country because we can welcome cultural differences. National membership in this great country is not based on dispiriting conformity. And so third, Canadians are committed to inclusion. And fourth, Canada takes an active, caring, and responsible interest in the world beyond our borders. This feature of our national identity grows more important by the day. We know that our values and history are important for improving the safety and condition of the peoples of the world through foreign aid, peacekeeping, democratic development, and the promotion of open but fair trade. And so therefore, fourth, Canadians know the importance of global commitments: fairness, dignity, inclusion, and fair trade. Chancellor, the questions I pose are only some of the larger ones for our future leaders assembled here who are about to receive their degrees today. We turn to them, I turn to them, because it is you, their generation, that must ask these new questions and find the answers and forge the path to be taken. I tell you, fellow students, from my years of experience, it will not be easy. But one thing I've learned from my time in public life, a calling which I still believe to be one of the highest purposes in a civilized and democratic society, is that we must always seek the longer-term view based on, as Wallace Stegner described it, who we are, and those values which embrace and guide us as Canadians. Here we can take the comfort of knowledge that Canada's path has been hewed by the courage, vision, and moral force of the Canadian heroes who have gone before. And that path is the path of the good state. And that path is still beckoning you, all of us, toward a country of genuine virtue and goodness. And unless we are willing to stop at moments like this, moments of celebration, reflection, rededication, recognition, and articulate what it means to be a Canadian, to be nurtured by our systems of education, of care and of fairness and history, then the path that has been built will become overgrown with selfish desires and small visions. And I see it, this convocation once again confirms that one of education's greatest purposes is the giving us of courage. Courage to think, courage to criticize, courage to imagine, courage to act, and most of all, courage to serve. And so, my fellow graduates, I wish you the wisdom and the strength to do the right things for your country and the world, because your generation is now charged with that responsibility. And remember the words of the great poet Lord Tennyson, who wrote, "Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a better world." Congratulations, thank you very much, and good luck.
Good morning, my name is Ian Orchard, and I'm privileged to be the Vice President Academic and Provost here at the University of Waterloo. Let me thank Roy Romano for his thoughtful and considered words. but particularly to welcome him to Waterloo's distinguished alumni, as I am about to introduce a few more. Will the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I present those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Chancellor, President, honoured guests and participants, well, what a great day. Convocation is perhaps the most rewarding occasion in the life of a university. It evokes our ancient rights and privileges and stirs us with the promise of new beginnings. On behalf of our University of Waterloo administration team, I would like to formally thank all of those who have made today possible. To the parents, family and friends of our graduates, especially those who have travelled from afar to be here, thank you. To the university community for developing these scholars and delivering these outstanding events for our new alumni, thank you. And of course, we acknowledge those who have been unable to join us today, but we feel their presence. We'll now do something a little different, and I'll ask the graduates to remain seated as I invite all parents, family, friends, event coordinators, and the band to rise as you are able. Graduates, look around, find your family friends, wave at them, and remarkably, they always wave back. Graduates, let's thank all of those who've made your convocation so special. Please be seated. As we prepare to confer degrees, I have a few notes. If you would like to take photos, you may do so in the area to your left of the platform. Please enter this area by going to the left side of the gym and down the outer hallway. If you approach this area just before your special graduate is about to proceed across the stage, you can take pictures. Once you have taken your photos, please return to your seats to allow others to take photos of their special graduates. Please remember that some students' names begin with an A, which means others may begin with a Z. It is not their fault. Please show respect to all your fellow classmates by returning to your seat after being hooded so that we can all share in the celebration together. So now for the good stuff. We will now proceed to the conferring of the degrees. I invite Professor Jim Rush, Dean of the Faculty of Applied Health Sciences, to announce the graduates' names.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts, General Program, 4-year. Thomas Black. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours Program. Matthew Anselm, Jessica Brake, Keith Yuet Hang Chung, Nathan Alexander Cross, Kyla Frostad, Sophia Janina Gadula, Kamadchi Karananandan, Naomi M.M. Lance, Kelly Leonard, Rebecca Mayers, Jarrett Terrence Neal, Ajiro Praise Patrick Akpobasa, Samira Phillips, Madison Marie Pieta, Brianna Wilhelmina Smeekins, Kylie Rebecca Westgate, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, General Kinesiology Program, 4-year. Lele Lily Ho, Maeve Lawler. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honours Program. Eliza Alabai, Alexandra Elise Butler, Laura Marie Diemert, Eric Cameron Geese, Pinaz Galacha, Joy Rajakarayar, Suram Kathargamanathan, Jennifer Lau, Robin Nicole Leonard, Carmen Liang, Kelly Christine Manning, Curtis John Marvin, Carol Mikolai Nega, Mira Susan Roebuck, Elizabeth Ann Smith, Robert Jake Saint Laurent, Alberto Mateo Tenebra, thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Robert Lemieux, Dean, Faculty of Science, and Marley Spafford, Associate Dean, Undergraduate Studies, to present the science graduands.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, General Science, 3-year. Carly Gail Bartle, Rebecca Nicole Lesky, Scott William Grant Dixon. Jasmeet Kaur, Natalie Sonia Misser, Helen Fung. Elton Paul Shabesh, Daniel Elizabeth Schmidt, Sophia Lee Situ. Srithutha Kurashankar Srirangam, Ji Su, Katarzyna Vidoviak, Alexander Wong. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Program. Adage Igoho Uwayasi. Samir Adam. Valentina Alexieva. Harsh Rakesh Kumar Amin, Katrina Hana Araj, Shanisa Arfin. Amin Ashkar, Elizabeth Ashley Atisano, Navnike Bola. Patrick Brunet, Brittany Karen Shalinor, Shabika Chandra Balasingam. Mohit Chandrasekhar, Xinshuan Cheng, Chao Yu Cheng. Dixon Chong, Yanja Shi, Mandi Shu. Byung Yon Cho, Jessica Diep, Katie Dodds. Rebecca Corrine Erkis, Rania El Ghana, Hong Dae Fan. Danielle Elizabeth Farr, Bertha Nya Lai Fong, Arkaran Singh Grewal. Victoria Hisco, Prabshot Kaur Kundal, Kashuf Ijaz. Ryan Johnston, Rohana Kamalanathan, Tuba Khan. Ajinkya Koleshwar, Anakwan, Melody Lee. Hao Ho Luke, Nicole Lin, Kyung Lee Ma. Brennan Mathers, Scott Thomas, Paul McGinley, Sobiga Nakiswaran. Kiran Nizamani, Uwe Samuel Nosakari, Amina Paraptani. Samir Patel, Catherine Paus, Brindia Rajendran. Jerusha Saravi Ravindraraj, Emily Marie Romano, Matthew John Ronan. Arishtant Shaktivet Pillai, Francis Salaviera, Shekta Ashkaur Sangha. Ahmad Sarwar, Richard Stephen Steer, Rachel Suzanne Tenbergern. Nadia Thauer, Adrian Winyi Trak, Alfred Chi Wing Se. Brandon Emerson William Walton, Max Harrison Weingust, Stephen Thomas Wong. Siwon Wu, Shufang Yu, Wenxie Zhang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite David Edwards, Hellman Director, School of Pharmacy, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present for the very first time at the University of Waterloo the candidates for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy. Kanika Agarwal, Tariq Aladdin, Derek Antwi. Parisa Aslan Bisi, Lindsay Ann Benavides, Rommel Biro. Stephanie Bustani, Charlotte Ruth Bradley, Chandni Chaudhary. Roshni Chaudhary, Anthea Yan Ting Cheng, Su Yun Cho. Arpita Divyesh Desai, Marina Abid, Brittany Franchuk. Sariam Getachew, Manjeet Gruel, Andrew Hamilton. Benjamin Joseph Harper, Christine Diane Hawken, Michelle Lynn Holm. Fatima Zara Jaffer, Anka Jurjut, Nicole Talar Karaya Kubian. Apurva Vishwas Kalkar, Sowoon Kim, Daniel Lai. Jasmine Lamba, Gloria Weiwa Lau, Rochelle Victoria Lauren. Jessica Abby Levitt, Andrew Keon Ho Lee, Benjamin Yu Young Liang. Li Sha Lee, Ki Lee, Joseph Tien Yu Lin. Amy Grace Lowe, David Fernandez Lopez, David Mancini. Mike Manajlovich, Mohammed Hassan Masood, Caitlin Sarah McCullough. Trina Joy McFarlane, Holly Shauna McGinnis, Shekhar Mehta. Louise Miller, Rusaina Murji, Man Kuan Ing. Amanda No, Tuan Richard An Nguyen, Sabina Pawa. Chan Yuk Park, Ashish Mahendra Patel, Roshni Patel. Shruti Patel, Daniel De Silva Pereira, Bryce Poirier. Jonathan Potvin, Lynn Quach, Marissa Ashley Ramon. Melissa Sandra Raymer, Tara Rizzi, Angelica Roque. Camille Roussel, Courtney Russell, Sarah Elena Salgado Yoon. Victoria Rosina Sarnovsky, Beth Francis Shell, C. In Serafina So, Olivia Rose Sargent, Pooja Sharma, Marina Ashraf Schweiter. Carmelia Stephanie Sun, Najla Tabara, Samantha Tai. Anukbir Thin, Zachary Lawrence Thompson, Lan Vin Tron. Christine True, Fatima Turgeman, Spencer Thomas Uniac. Alessandra Danielle Vodala, Katie Wakeford, Marcus Walls. Irene Sigia Wang, Nancy Wheeler, Isidro Wong. Abdul Rahman Zakrat, Lena Zambrano, Zing Zhou. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite James Frank, Associate Provost, Graduate Studies, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Arts. Kaisikwi Gwanam Asma Mahmoud, Emily Grant. Allison Patricia Holmes, Bobby Lynn Swartman. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Public Health. Rula Miriam El-Samak, Josephine Ankuma, Nicholas Boyd Argent. Sundeep Banwat, Wendy Mitchell Blunt, Barbara Alice Bowes. Shauna Ray Buchanan, Elizabeth Calvin, Tina Koting Chen. Brandon Chi Yang Chung, Suzanne Claire, Sarah Domji. Misty Deming, Catherine Sarah Dykeman, Mercy Lillian Kichuki. Alexander Hall, Divya Honda, Stephanie Hood. Nuzat Jamal, Shalom Tamara Jeffers, Karen Kuzmich. Matthew Lebrun, Vivian Michelle Lee, Vivian Wing Fung Lu. Joanne Majerovich, Antonios Macrosterios, Leanne Moore. Ayana Mustafa, Sarah Mistico, Julia Nook Nguyen. Stella Pasyan, Tanvik Kumari Patel, Karen Lynn Peters. Joanne Elizabeth Sabal, Diana Seifer, Kathleen Elizabeth York Standring. Jennifer Lindsay Surratt, Nancy Sullivan, Sunita Surendra. Mariette Sutherland, Sean Georgina Telford, Nicole Turner. Sebastian Van Gilst, John Wasiki Kira, Rebecca Xiao Yan Yu. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Science. Hiba Alatas, Saeed Amin, Jan Jose Ristizabal Haneo. Jessica Ashburn. Jessica is also the recipient for the Outstanding Achievement in Graduate Studies and the Master's Program. Eric Beaton, Rabia Chandani, Connor James Hart. Amanda Marie Harvey, Michael Hung, Stacy Lavari. Song Ling, Philip Matthew Marvin, Sarah Grace Rhoda. Alana McKinney. Alana is also the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Graduate Studies and a Master's Program. Sung Ho Sai, Daniel Vigiani, Yuru Wu. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Dr. Wendy Fletcher, Principal and Vice Chancellor, Renison University College, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Social Work. Jeffrey William Baldock, Lisa Carter, Kimberly Dawn Clowley. Ashley Megan Cox, Deborah Lynn Dale, Julia Data. Ashley Dunn, Adabongan Eunice, Joanne Govender. Lisa Henderson, Debbie Hodder, Natasha Jarvis. Amanda Jewett, Supriya Karmakar, Christy Ann Kent. Sonia Latifpour, Ashley Marie Lehman, Michelle Jacqueline Licata. Susan Beth McCracken, Christina Moore, Jennifer Peter Manicam. Crystal Jane Scott, Cameron David Stretch, Charlene Elizabeth Ann Taylor. Andrea Tracy, Sarah Jessica Walsh, Rebecca Wilkes. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite James Frank, Associate Provost, Graduate Studies, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Sophia Barolo. Helen Ruthann Broom. Eric Brown. Matthew Brown. Amanda Elizabeth Chapesky. Chunqing Deng. Elizabeth Drelay. Craig Irvine. Tom Griffin. Philip Harrison. Po-Young Hong. Congratulations. Solmay Peruz. Samana Shadmir. Christopher James Wood. Atefa Sadat Zarabadi. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who are approved by Senate but who are unable to present at today's convocation.
I confer the degrees in absentia.
It's always a great pleasure when I first meet you, when you first come to the university, and when I address you, when I meet most of you, when I talk to you, to see that spark in your eyes. And it's just wonderful to see that that spark is still there, but it's only glowing brighter. So fantastic. Congratulations, graduates. Graduates, your friends and families, you have worked hard for this. Your hopes and your future have hinged on this, and now that future beckons. Consider for a moment two futures, the world's and yours. We know that it is rich in opportunity, and that in the words of Moises Naimi, this is the world that power and opportunity are easier to gain and easier to lose than ever before in today's disruption economy. We know that the world is awash in both wealth and want, and in new pressures on the health of our communities. And we know that these trends are deepening. This is the world that is awaiting you. It's exciting, and it has many challenges. But what is making us very hopeful and very excited? That as to you and to your future, we know a few things there too, as we do about the world waiting for you. We know that you're highly intelligent. How do I know that? I've seen their grades. We know from your Waterloo degrees that you have an entrepreneurial mindset that drives you to ask, how can we do this better? Or why must it be so? And better, I can do it. And I can do it better than anybody else. The can-do attitude that you developed here. And I know this as well, because I have attended many of your seminars, and I visited many of the startups you formed. And we know that thanks to your experiential education at Waterloo, whether through co-op or other avenues, that you have a competitive career advantage. I know about this too, because I've talked to many of your employers, co-op employers. Through the University of Waterloo, your graduating class has earned these advantages. And now, along with your university, you are special stewards of innovation in Canada. You are part of an incredible tradition. Just last month, the Faculty of Applied Health Sciences held Hack for Health to help improve the quality of life of people living with Alzheimer's disease and multiple sclerosis. The two-day event at our Accelerator Center on our North Campus showcased AHS at the nexus of knowledge, technology, and population health. Evidence of our graduates' innovative potential lies in countless alumni stories and successes as well. Like Rohit Ramchandani and his amazing experience. Just over a decade ago, he sat where you're sitting now. You and your families may have heard of Rohit. We are proud to have him as an adjunct faculty member in the School of Public Health and Health Systems. With his knowledge as an AHS alumnus and taking inspiration from Coca-Cola's distribution network in Africa, Rohit created AirPods. They have been saving lives ever since. AirPods are packages of vital medicines to fight one of Africa's deadliest yet most treatable health risks, diarrhea. Rohit partnered with Coca-Cola to use their distribution network to get this medicine to rural communities most in need of it. That is Waterloo innovation at work. Now, the Faculty of Applied Health Sciences is pursuing plans to extend innovation deep into the future with new facilities and initiatives. TechTown on our North Campus will house the new Advanced Aging Research Center. We call it simply ARCH, as it will be known. Will bring researchers from different disciplines together to develop personalized approaches to healthcare. Through a Canadian Foundation for Innovation grant of $1.3 million, ARCH is set to become Canada's most comprehensive collection of equipment focused on aging, laying the groundwork for some tremendous innovation. Or take another example, Harry Gandhi, a Waterloo science student like many of you. It was announced that Harry is one of the 20 young entrepreneurs from around the world to be awarded a Thiel Fellowship. As you know, the Thiel Fellowship brings together some of the world's most creative young people and helps them bring their most ambitious projects to life through major grants. You could say Harry's startup is ambitious. Modella Health is developing smart contact lenses to monitor blood glucose levels, a less invasive, more comfortable, more immediate, and more effective way to monitor and track health information. This information is synced with the user's smartphones, enabling a whole new level of personal health management. What's even more incredible is that your friend Harry didn't stop there. He gave back. He went on to help found Velocity Science, a crucial new element of the University of Waterloo innovation ecosystem. As Harry puts it, Waterloo's entrepreneurial ecosystem is the best in Canada. This is the tradition of innovation and impact that you are all part of. As you all complete the transition from student to alumni, protect the value of your membership in this community. Stay engaged as alumni and look for ways to support those who follow in your footsteps. We need you, and so do they. So, graduates of the fall of 2015, you are ready. For whatever opportunities and challenges life throws at you, you are ready. You are Waterloo warriors, inheritors of the unique tradition of innovation that has made this university different from the start. Today, you have helped us to recall and renew the real mission of the University of Waterloo. We are not here merely to issue degrees. We are here to issue alumni with the ability to change the world. So graduates, you better get started. Congratulations.